Welcome to the Festival of Storytellers.
I thank everybody that's involved with this process because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers.
Experience is not about the publisher, it is about us, the authors.
Your Wealth Lives Within by Luckisha Townsend. How to use your most powerful wealth building tool to secure your future. Get your copy on Amazon today. Well, hello there. It's nice to see everyone again. Today, we're in our final week of Festival of Storytellers. I hope that you have had a good time. There are, millions of books that are out that you read that are, giving you some insight into all types of uh, books and all types of stories that you can embrace. And so today, again, we're going to talk about going on in the book. Your Wealth Lives Within. But there was a question that was asked on one of the other lives that I wanted to talk about. And so we'll kind of discuss that in a little bit. But we want to now, let's go ahead and mention about the contest. The contest is that you were going to be able to enter in for a 1-hour coaching session with me. All right, so the stipulation is that you have to go to the booth, my booth, and download the form that she's getting ready to put on screen for us. This is a quick starter budget. So yes, so you have to do some participation, with this challenge. Okay, so it even categorized everything, for you. I mean, some of them you may not be able to fill in. Some of them you might have some other ones that you want to add to it, but you want to fill out this form, and then you're going to email it back to me, and I will pick 5 coaching session with me. Tomorrow is the deadline, you all. All right. So you got one more day to go to the booth, download this form, get it filled out, and back in by tomorrow, I guess at midnight. All right. All right. So I am so excited about it. I hope you are going to participate. I think it's going to be, a good thing to start out the new year 24, focusing on getting your finances back in order. All right. Okay. So one of the questions that was asked: do you overcome, the mindset, with your finances? How, when you don't have things going the way you want them to go, what are some things, what do I need to do? Well, I kind of broke it down into like maybe 5 different categories. To evaluate and acknowledge, your habits. Okay. All right. So we all have habits. We all have things that we do. And some people, we like we have comfort food. We have comfort shopping. People like, they call therapy, shop therapy. Yes, that is such a thing. And so people, depending on, whatever they're feeling, something went wrong or whatever. Some people like to get online and just shop, and some people just, buy stuff, I mean, they may not even really need it or even want it, but, because, it's like a comfort, they use that as a reason to overindulge in their spending, and so first you have to, come to terms with that, figure out what those triggers are, like I said, with this book, this was kind of, I feel like it's kind of like a therapy book, because it's taking you back into your childhood, back into behaviors, in your past when you were living at home with your parents or whoever you were living with, and how they handled things and how you saw them handle things, how it. So yeah, it's, I think it's kind of like a therapy, so it's because it's making you think. You have to really go inward when it comes to finances, because a lot of people, they feel like it's too much. It's, I just don't know how, and oh, I don't with it, and so they just doing stuff. They spending money. They don't know where it's going. Like, I said in a earlier live, I said some people spend their paycheck before it even hits their account, meaning that, yeah, yes, for your bills and stuff, yeah, you're supposed to have those budgeted out, but then, people go and buy stuff because, oh, they're in the moment, they having that binge budget, binge spending, and then now when it comes to your bills, you're like, oh, where's the money at? I don't have the money. And then, you want to go and borrow it or put it on the credit card and stuff like that. So one of the things you have to acknowledge that you do have some, bad spending habits. All right. So now once you do that, say, okay, I forgive myself. Now let's pull ourselves out of it. So let's don't stay there. Okay. Don't stay there, because that's what people do. They stay there because they're like, oh, I screwed up. And then they just, become a perpetual downward spiral, and they say, well, I can't get out of it. So why even try? I'm just going to, it's my money, I'm just going to spend it and, and worry about the consequences later. So we want to get you out of that mindset and out of that thinking. Okay. All right. One of the other is identifying and addressing. What you want to do is get with someone like a financial coach, and and kind of sit down, and because sometimes when you have someone who is on the outside that can give you a better perspective, or let you see it in a different way, could be that little piece that you need to break that that mindset that you have, when it comes to how you handle your finances, how you think about money, how you handle money. So that's why, it is important, that you invest in yourself. We do investments, where we try to put our money. A lot of people try to invest and they, it's good, but then you still have debt and stuff like that. So really, you don't really, get the chance to feel good about that investment because you still owe someone. You still got, student loan debt. You still, got a car loan, a house, a mortgage. I mean, a mortgage is, that's more, it's an acceptable debt because most people are not going to be able to go out and put $200,000 down on a house, and get off, usually. I mean, so, there are acceptable debts, but you still, even in those acceptable debts, you have to have a plan to, to pay those debts off. You don't want to just be wandering aimlessly through the forest per se, because remember, you get interest on these items, all right? And so, with a house, if you actually take, the length of time that your loan is for, you'll probably end up double of what the actual house costs. So that's why you have to have a strategy in mind and in place to get out of these. So student loans at 1.77 trillion and credit card is over a trillion. That's a lot of debt that's going on out here. And some of us are in that number. And so my hope is to get you out of that number. All right. All right. So that you are doing things a little bit better than what it's set up. The system is set up for us to be in debt, to owe and to live paycheck to paycheck. That's the way the systems are set up because they make it so easy for you to swipe your credit card. You don't feel that. You don't think about see it, and then you're like, oh my God, what am I? That's why we want to be mindful of what we're doing. All right. So now I'm going to have them flash for you this thing called needs and wants. So this is what a lot of people have a problem with. They're going to flash it up there as well, because they can't identify what a need is and what a want. Okay, because you see some nice shoes. You're like, but that you need those. Do you really need those? And so we're going to go over some things, and then one of the things too is that also your need may not be somebody else's need, or your want may not be someone else's want. Depending on where you live. I remember I did this uh, session, a coaching group that I did, and we went over these. Like in certain places, I think in Flint, Michigan, I'm gonna use an example. They didn't have a good drinking water, and I don't even think they have resolved that issue even to this day. And so for them, bottled water is a that's why you have to really sit down and really think about it. No, is this really a need or is this really a want? Okay, so TV streaming subscription. Yeah, okay, that is a want. Groceries. Okay, we have to eat, right? So yeah, groceries is definitely a need. New shoes. Okay, so if your shoes don't have holes in them, they're tearing apart, stuff like that, then right your the shoes are not functioning in the capacity that they're supposed to, then you buying a new pair of shoes at this moment when you're trying to get out of debt, it's a want. Okay, a place to live. All right, that should be obvious. Another car. Okay, now let's unpack that a little bit. So depending on, like, okay, if the car that you have is now starting to break down and cause you a lot of problems and stuff like that, then another car may be a need. Okay. All right. So, but if you got a good running car and you're like, oh, I want to upgrade or whatever. Cause like cause I am a, a single person. And so I have a car and I always wanted to have, a second vehicle because like if I need to put it in the shop or stuff like that. But I didn't. I, I resisted the urge to, go into that debt because I had some other things that I wanted to clear off of my okay, utilities. Yes, of course that is a need. We gotta have light. We gotta have, we have we got to have heat. So that is definitely a need. Um, a cruise vacation. Okay. So you kind of getting it, lawn service. Okay. Now here's another situation. Like, like with me, I mean, I don't have a lawn service, but like when I go out in my house, I'm usually like down for 2 days, because it messes with my allergies and stuff like that. Or if you're someone who's elderly or something like that, and you can't do it, then that could be a need. Keep your lawn up, kept up. So that's why so you have those little things that can depending on your circumstance, it could be unless you can get somebody who's nice that will donate their time to cut your yard for you for free. Child care, daycare. Okay. Going like they said every day. Concerts or game tickets, auto insurance. Okay, a lot of people are out here insurance. That is not okay. It is not okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got a little tip for this. You need to have auto insurance. All right. So that's why it's important when you buy a car, you just don't go buy a car. You need to research, how, how quickly is that car going to depreciate? Okay. How much it's going to cost you a month? And then the insurance, okay, you want a Mercedes. How much insurance are you going to have to pay for that car? That's why a lot of people, don't have insurance and stuff like that, because they have a vehicle that the insurance is going to cost as much as a car payment. So you need to think about those things. Like when you're buying a car, where you live. Camilla's saying, nice to see you. Nice to see you too. Thank you for coming on. I hope you're going to be one of those contestants that put in for that 1 hour free coaching. All right. So that's just kind of a little bit of your idea of like when you want to think of things. What is it, a want or is it a need? Okay, Luckisha, this is my first time being here, and I'm glad and excited at the same time. Awesome. Well, Ethan, all right. So we're talking about financing, one of those things a lot of people don't like to deal with. All right, and there is a contest going on. If you go to my booth down below my bio, there's a form they're going to fill out. Okay, it's a quick budget. So yeah, you have to participate. You have to, we already giving you some homework. You got to write down all your bills, your income, and all of that. Get that all on that paper, then rescan it, and then email it to me at ttp@ttpcoachingservices.com and be entered into that contest. All right, and tomorrow is the deadline, so you have until 12:59 p.m. tomorrow night. All right. Frida says, wow, perfect timing. I think I could use some advice on spending. Yeah. I mean, everybody, can use some advice, so I thought it would be fitting with this festival to offer, just to get you kind of started, yes, if it sounds good, you can continue on and maybe you're willing to invest in, further coaching. But I thought at least, this would kind of give you a start to like, your mindset about, a budget. A lot of people don't like the budget because they think it's restricting, and really a budget actually allows you to spend because why? Because it lets you see where all your money is going. Okay. All right. When you know where your money going, then you know what you have to work with. All right. JP said, hello, Luckisha. We're always glad to have you here. Thank you. Thank you for the great financial literacy activity you prepared for us. Awesome. I really appreciate that comment. And JP, I hope I'll see your email. All right. All right. So this has been awesome. 2 weeks. We get ready to wrap it up. I think I have 2 sessions on February 2nd. So we'll continue to keep talking about, getting your finances together, getting you over those mindset hurdles, to really, get you, stabilized, because, it's just like with anything, like working out, we'll start, at the beginning of the year, January is ready to be in, get ready in. And most people's, resolution is I'm gonna get in, I'm gonna get in shape, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna go to the gym, and they are packed between I think January, March, and then after that you'll see it drop off because then life happens, stuff come up, and then it takes your focus, and then there you go. Now you're back in that same old pattern. All right, Paul says, I really want to be out of debt by the end of this year. Any words of wisdom? You gotta be like a Zell when a lion is trying to catch them. You gotta get focused. You gotta run away from spending. You cut it out. You gotta be focused. All right. You got to say, okay, I'm gonna cut out everything that I can cut out, until I get out of that. And you said you want to be out of that by the end of this year. So that is going to know how much effort you're going to have to put in to get out of it this year. And there's a plan for it. So, I hope you fill out that form, go to my booth, and, we can look at it and get you on that track. All right. All right. Ethan says, I absolutely agree. People need to identify for themselves the difference between, yes. Yes. Because, my story isn't your story. Okay. And so, my need might be a want, or vice versa. So that's why you have to, figure out those things for yourself, and you have to drown out all the noise, not be trying to, keep up with the Joneses or the Instagrammers or the TikTokers, you need to drown out that what you're seeing online, because a lot of it is just, flash and, fluff. That they're putting out there to get views and whatever else they're trying to do. All right, so behind the scenes, you don't know, these people could be be miserable. We've seen it a lot. People who like comedians, one of my favorite comedians, committed suicide, and we thought he was happy because he was a comedian, but you don't know what people are going through, behind, so that's why, we have to be careful how we put these people up on pedestals and stuff like that, and then when they fall we want to bury them or destroy them and stuff like that, because for the grace of God, there go me, there go you. So that's why we have to take into account that all these social media outlets, we need to be kind. We need to be kind to everybody. This these platforms, I don't think they were initially designed for people to tear each other down with. It was designed for you have a more reach in the world, because we have people everywhere, so now people can kind of touch out, reach out to each other, cities, countries, or whatever. So yes, we need to be just mindful of those things. So we'll take some more questions. I hope that the want and need thing, that I hope that was eye opening for you, or something you're like, oh yeah, let me yeah, let me is getting a loan for the purpose of investment. Okay. Okay, so that loan you're gonna have to pay back. So why would you want to go in debt just to invest? So I'm gonna leave that right there for you, Nicole, and hopefully answer that question for yourself, because it's not that important to go in to be able to invest in something. Um, Wait until you can have the money to invest, and that way it's clear and free. You're gonna come out, and then you invest it. Because you're I'm assuming that your investment is supposed to go. You're thinking long term. All right. So now now got to pay off something that you use to hopefully have you a dividend down the road. So just think about that. So that's that mindset. I know know where you're coming from, because you want to invest, you want to get in there, but you don't have it right now. So you're thinking about taking out. I would say no. I mean, of course, it's up to you, but I would not advise anybody to do that. Raul says, "Hi, I don't know if this is relevant, but any advice on finding a good investment?" You need an investment advisor because that's not what I am. All right, so you need somebody who deals with those type of commodities and things like that. So I would say if you're working with a company, they might offer somebody like I can't think of a name right now. Prudential or Fidelity or someone like that. Where you could talk to them about investments. Yes. So you want to get with them, but like I said before, like you really trying to invest, make sure um, out of debt. Okay, at least if you unless you at least have debt that is like not more than 10,000 or something like that. That's what I would say. But yeah, you need to, investment broker or, investment advisor. Okay, Catherine, we all have good and bad habits, and from time to time, we need to self examine and need advice from others. Yes. And you don't want to get advice from someone that's in the same situation you are. Okay. Because misery likes company. And some people um would say, oh, girl, go ahead and get that. It's your money. Okay, so but when you're trying to, be wise and prudent, sometimes you have to get wisdom from right places. Okay. So that's where, like a financial coach would be, because that person has your best interest at heart. Okay. They're only there to, advise you and give you advice. They're not going to do anything or they're not going to do it for you, but they're, there to be, that voice of reason, like, and to get you to think about it. Like, okay, do you need that right now? Can we do, like what's called a sinking fund? Um, we could do that. I'm thinking, because I'm hoping I have a surprise this afternoon, so I might not get to talk about it this afternoon. But yeah, on Thursday, I want to talk about like sinking funds or this method of using envelopes. I saw on Instagram this person who 100 envelopes. So and they had from 1 to 100 on each envelope, and they did it like each week. Everybody's not gonna be able to put money in their envelope each week. But start out with 30 envelopes, right? Start out with 30 envelopes, and then every time you have extra money, put it in those envelopes. So you put a dollar. Of course, everybody can do $1, $2, probably up to $10. Probably can get get that taken care of with no problem. But then when you get into the 20s and stuff like that, it might take you a little bit of time. But once you have done that, I think it might. I think if with 30, I think it's like $455. I believe it was. If I'm correct, I'll check my math on a little. But yes, so but we will talk about that later. All right, so we wrap up this morning session. All right, remember the contest ends tomorrow at 12:59 p.m. All right, and they're going to show my trailer again. Go to my booth and download that form so you can participate in the contest. All right, well, we'll see you this afternoon. Have a good one. And yes, go to the QR code is there. Go to Amazon, pick up the book. Pick up the book. This will be a great resource for you to start on your financial journey as well. All right. We always glad to be here with you all. See you next time.